Listen, I'm upset about Pokemon Home 2. The fact that this is something like just literally taking Pokemon and putting it into the game, right? It's just data, right? It's literally just moving a couple bits of data and all that. Hackers can do this. Hackers are able to take Pokemon and move them around. Hackers could take a Pokemon from Sword and Shield, look at it, download it, and put it in Scarlet and Violet. For some reason, the Pokemon company that has a lot more money and resources can't do something that a freaking 15, 17, or maybe like a 18 or some year old hacker could figure out how to do. Now, I'm not saying none of this coding stuff is easy, but the fact that you got people that can do it, and Pokemon Bank previously on the 3DS, we got that usually took, like, I think for connectivity to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe we got it in like either January or February. This whole waiting like 6-7 months after the game comes out just to put Pokemon that are already coded into the game. It's not like we're making new Pokemon or anything like that. It's not like it's a big DLC expansion. It's literally just taking Pokemon from older games or just that are saved in the cloud that are literally just data. Taking it and putting it into the game. Literally data that already exists within Scarlet and Violet. It's not like they're coding new Pokemon into Scarlet and Violet. It's literally just Pokemon that already exist in the code, putting them in there. But for some reason that's taking months. And I get it. I'm upset about it too, because I got Pokemon I want to transfer. I got my battle ready Pokemon I want to transfer. It makes it easier to shiny hunt when you can just throw your leftover eggs and Pokemon home. And I get it, and especially because this is a paid service too. It's not like you're paying you're paying for this like monthly. Well, you pay for this monthly or 3 monthly or whatever, but regardless, we still paying for it, right? It's not like you stop paying and then you pay for it. No, we still paying for this. This is some service we paying for, and we should be able to use it. Like, you would think they would have it, like, you would say most, like people say, most other game developers would have this ready day one or within a couple weeks, like patches within a couple weeks, not like waiting months for basic game fixes and patches like that. There's a lot of reasons to be upset with Scarlet and Violet right now. I'm starting that off to say, because the point of this video is I'm telling y'all how to enjoy Pokemon in 2023. Listen, now I'm not going to sit here and excuse anything that Game Freak has done, because quite frankly, a lot of this is irritating. I mean, I'm pissed off. I was literally excited. I'm a competitive battler, as you saw. I was excited to battle and stuff like that. But now we gotta wait again, and it's not even like they delayed a couple days. They delayed it to be determined. Like, that's really unprofessional, to be honest. And I part of me thinks Pokemon needs to do some sort of compensation, because I remember when Fortnite servers go down, anytime Fortnite servers go down or Fortnite makes a mistake, this is just an example. I know there's other developers that do stuff like this, but this is the first thing that came to my mind. When Fortnite makes mistakes like this, they instantly, like, if servers are down or they make a mistake or something like that, there's a reward at some point. Sometimes they'll do extra EXP, sometimes they'll give like a free item or something like that. But a lot of other game developers, when stuff like this happens, offer a reward, and we probably won't, or some sort of compensation. And not saying, and it's likely we probably won't get something like that with Pokemon, to be honest. But the thing is, all of this, as unfortunate as it is Pokemon. I mean, like, as much as I want to be like, say that I get mad, because if you want to get irritated at this stuff, by all means go ahead. But I mean, you got to keep in mind, this is the same company that literally, we were waiting this long for home compatibility with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and also Legends Arceus. Like, this is like, unfortunately, part of the norm. Like, this is what we are looking at. This is like just it. This is just what we've come to expect. And I've done videos previously. I did a video talking about the Pokemon Home thing about waiting. I think, what was it, like, it was about a month or two ago, no? And, part of being a Pokemon fan is you have to I'm trying to be careful, because I don't want to make people think I'm attacking them, but all the criticisms you have are valid, right? But we look at the modern state of Pokemon games, and we've pretty much been in the same kind of like deal with the Pokemon company for a little bit now. Like, ever since Sword and Shield, you got to realize these games aren't going to be 100% polished. They aren't going to be everything you want. and you're probably gonna have a bunch of like gripes or whatever with it, right? And so you may say, oh, it's hard to be a Pokemon fan in 2023 when Game Freak doesn't do X, Y, Z, and C, all the alphabet, right? And the thing is, if you want to be a Pokemon fan in 2023, you have to go and play the games that you actually like. Now hear me out. The main way to be a Pokemon fan now, if you want, or to enjoy Pokemon 2023, how to enjoy Pokemon in 2023. To do that, you have to play Pokemon you actually like, right? And I think, you know, a lot of people get so caught up in the modern Pokemon, which I get it, because it's the new thing going on. But you gotta keep in mind, there's a bunch of Pokemon games out there. You got a lot of older Pokemon games. Everyone has a Pokemon game that they're nostalgically attached to, right? And so, hey, when was the last time you played through your first Pokemon game or your second Pokemon game? What are your top 5 favorite Pokemon games? And you know what the craziest thing is? With every Pokemon game comes a bunch of different ways to play it, right? That's cliche, but I mean, that's what Pokemon's built around. And I think that a lot of people, you know, need to take a step back and just play games that they actually like, because focusing on the modern Pokemon games or focusing on this and that, trying to get satisfied, getting the same satisfaction that you used to have, because I think a lot of people talk about Pokemon used to be this, or looking at other game franchises and be like, why can't Pokemon be like that? There's nothing we can do about it, alright? There's quite frankly nothing you can do about it. What Pokemon's going to do is going to be what Pokemon's going to do. If Pokemon wants to release Pokemon Home all the way in like September, they're going to do it. And there's nothing you can do about it. Pokemon is still going to make games that are going to make a whole lot of money. They're not... What is going to stop them, huh? What is going to... Like, I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but realistically, Pokemon can do what they want, and they're going to do what they want. And they're not necessarily obliged. They're not some small company. They're the #1 multimedia franchise. So they're going to keep doing whatever they want to do. It's your decision to decide how you are going to live with that. You can, by all means, be like one of the people on Twitter and always live your life and be upset at every single thing Pokemon does. That's something you could do. But the thing is, if you like this franchise, there was something that you liked about it. And I want you to go back, and I think the best way to continue to be a Pokemon fan is enjoy the parts of Pokemon that you like. Acknowledge the parts that are messed up, but really, I recommend go back and play some of the older games. If you say, well, this game was great, and this compared to Scarlet and Violet, it really doesn't compare, because Pokemon Platinum was the greatest game ever, and it had all the X, Y, and Z, and then, you know, it's not as Scarlet and Violet, doesn't compare. Go back and play Pokemon Platinum. Go do it. No one's stopping you. And the thing is, you go back and play Platinum and use a completely different team a bunch of different times, and you'll have a good time every single time. I can't tell you how many times I played through Black 2 and White 2 and I don't get bored, okay? Like, I think you can play through the same game again and again and again and still have fun with it. Use a different Pokemon each time, or use the same team. Speed run it. You know, right now, a lot of Pokemon content that's popping off right now is people doing these challenges of older games. Now, you do have ROM hacks that are popping off, like Pokemon Radical Red, but a lot of the most popular Pokemon videos are these challenge videos that take older games and play them in 50 different ways. You got someone who's in Pokemon Red doing like a normal only Pokemon run. You got someone in Pokemon Y doing a fossil only challenge or something like that, hardcore Nuzlocke, whatever. People are literally finding many different ways to play these older games, because people, you can acknowledge that the newer games are problematic, right? But look at the content that's popping off right now too. People are popping off playing older games in a bunch of different ways, and you're watching it because these people are getting hella views. So why not just play it yourself? If you like to see someone do it, because the Pokemon content that pops off the Pokemon content that's popular usually reflects the mindset of the people watching. So Let's Plays used to be huge, particularly in X and Y, and they started to slow down in Sun and Moon, because I feel like people were looking for those playthrough games, right? And as we got to Sword and Shield, people didn't really do playthroughs of Sword and Shield. Now granted, that's because everyone wanted to live stream, but really people weren't looking for these long or these playthroughs, because it wasn't something people enjoyed anymore. Like, seeing someone play through Sword and Shield isn't nearly as enjoying as seeing someone play through X and Y. Granted, because you see Pokemon, people get to evolve Mega Evolve Pokemon in X and Y, and there's a bunch of different things in X and Y that people like compared to Sword and Shield. Now, that doesn't mean Sword and Shield's bad. I mean, you could have your opinion on whatever game, but the thing is, though, you look at the content that's popping off right now. People are doing, like, Jaden Animations doing something on playing an older game, Nuzlocke. Competitive Pokemon is popping off, too. Particularly VGC or, like, you know, people doing, like, competitive battles. That's popping off, too. But you know what's not really popping off? People, well, like, sitting and complaining about Pokemon games, because Pokemon rants are not even popular, and this is a Pokemon rant, and I'm posting it. But anyway, like, look, if there's there's a bunch of ways people are enjoying Pokemon still. There's a bunch of ways, and a bunch of them don't even involve Scarlet and Violet. Most ways that people enjoy Pokemon right now do not involve Scarlet and Violet. Now, you can argue that that's the newest way, but there's a whole bunch of ways, and most people aren't even focusing on it. Most of the Pokemon videos that are being made don't even talk about Scarlet and Violet. I mean, you got the stunts when you get the raids, but Scarlet and Violet content isn't going to become the most popular thing again until the DLC comes out, and then it's gonna pick up, and then it's gonna slow down. But that's usually the way Pokemon content works. The newest game gets real popular, and then other people do other things, and then the new game, and then like that. I think Scarlet and Violet might pop off a few years from now, because a lot of people look back at games, and then they have a resurgence a few years from now. But anyway, the main thing I'm trying to get to is play Pokemon the way you enjoy it in the games you like. Period. That's the way you enjoy it in 2023. If looking at Game Freak and Home and all that is angering you, don't do it. If you're looking at other game developers and are like, why can't Pokemon be like them? Go play games from those developers. Only play Pokemon games that you like. Don't feel obligated to play new Pokemon games or continue to... Why continually give yourself the burden of trying to figure this out, of waiting for Pokemon Home and stuff like that, when you can do other things? I get it, focusing on when you can get Pokemon Home and stuff like that can be nice, or wanting a Pokemon game that meets all your expectations would be great. But the unfortunate reality is that what you want doesn't matter to Pokemon. I mean, granted, you liking Pokemon matters to them, of course, but I mean, the specifics of every single thing, like 60 FPS, no glitches, all of this X, Y, and Z, that doesn't matter to them, because they're going to do whatever they want to do. Period. And so, if they're going to do whatever they're going to do, you should do whatever you want to do. They're going to do whatever they want to do, and whatever they're going to do, you should do whatever you want to do. What Pokemon games do you enjoy? How can you enjoy Pokemon? And I think the best way I've been enjoying Pokemon, really, the way I got out of this Pokemon Home stuff is I booted up Pokemon White 2, and I've been playing it. It was this playthrough. I think I was doing a randomized. Wait, no, it was Pokemon Volt White or Blaze Black, I don't know. The hard mode. I was doing the challenge mode, that ROM hack that Drayano did. I was playing through that because I haven't played through it in a few weeks because I got caught up with Xenoblade and I'm still trying to beat Breath of the Wild. And then in between Pokemon, because there's a huge gap between Pokemon games. You get the Pokemon game, and then you pretty much got a year between you get some more Pokemon content. So you fill in the gaps. You know, play other games. There's a lot of good games out. I got a PlayStation 5, so I'm playing through Tales of Arise. I need to beat Breath of the Wild so I can play Tears of the Kingdom, but I got a bunch of PlayStation 5 games I can play. Don't super zoom in on Pokemon, and because that's not going to help you, and that's going to drive you crazy, and then that's how you don't have fun. When you zoom in too much, when you when you get upset because Pokemon doesn't do everything you want, that's not how to enjoy Pokemon, unfortunately. You know, it'd be nice to get everything you wanted, but I mean, for me, my favorite Pokemon is Tepig right there, and I don't know when I'm gonna see Tepig again. All right, he wasn't in Scarlet and Violet, right? And I don't know if dude's gonna come back in the DLC. He's not a part of Legends Arceus. Oshawott got the treatment, so I don't know when I'm gonna see my boy Tepig again. But I still play Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is not in the newest Pokemon games, and he hasn't been in a while, but I'm still playing these games and having fun. And I think you got to take it on face value. Pokemon, you're supposed to have fun. It's a lot of you fill in the blank with your imagination. Like, right? While you're playing these games, you're giving the story. You're interpreting the story. The Pokemon you got, you're giving it the personality. What does it mean to you? How do you feel playing through this game right there, right? and that's it. Pokemon's not gonna have some deep story. Pokemon's not gonna have. It's not gonna be an Elden Ring. It's not gonna be all these other things, because also you got to keep in mind those games have large development cycles where the entire team that's developing the game focuses only on that game. Pokemon has to keep splitting up its base, so that way you got someone cooking the current game, but then while the current game is cooking, you have another team that's working on the game that's going to come out like a few years after this game, and then they got to keep going. They can't get a chance to break. Like, it's not. Imagine if an Elden Ring game, if people who are making Elden Ring made an Elden Ring 1 this year, 2 next year, 3 the year after that, like that, I guarantee you Elden Ring would not be as good as it is. Now, you could argue that they're like, well, that Game Freak and Pokemon they're not good developers and stuff like that. They shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, there's nothing you're going to do to change it. Period. There's nothing you can do to change that. That's the thing. Like, you can argue, and I'll agree with you. Pokemon should take a break, and that probably make the games better. But what does that do? Nothing. I mean, if we point something out and see how true it is, does that make anything better? Not inherently. So why do it? I mean, I get it. It's frustrating. I'm not saying that makes it any less frustrating, but I'm saying if you want to get the fun out of Pokemon, do the things that make it fun, and just don't. Focusing too much on the aspects that are irritating are only going to make you not like Pokemon. And that's fine. If you want to do that and just continually not like Pokemon, that's fine. No one's going to stop you. Your decision. But if you want to enjoy the franchise, if you want to continue to be a Pokemon fan, do what you do that makes you like Pokemon. What made you like Pokemon at first? Like I said, I invite you to play the first Pokemon game you've ever played right now. If you're upset or you haven't played it in a minute, play a Pokemon game you haven't played in a while. Let's say you haven't played Leaf Green. Play it. I'm not going to tell you how to play it because, let's say, for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say boot up your Game Boy and play Pokemon Leaf Green using your Game Boy Advance and not any other methods. Okay, disclaimer out the way. But anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. I just think everyone, what we need to do as Pokemon fans is play games that we like, find new ways to play older games. I think Scarlet and Violet, there's a bunch of different ways to play it, because there's a whole lot of Pokemon you can play through, and I want to do a Pokemon Violet playthrough playing with completely different Pokemon I didn't play through the first game. That's the thing, Pokemon always gives you options. There's 50 million different ways to play every single Pokemon game, and people are doing it on YouTube. Take inspiration, do a fire-only run of Pokemon Diamond. No, wait, never mind, that's bad. There's only 2 fire types. Do a grass type run of Pokemon X. There you go. Do something like that, and I guarantee you'll have fun. You'll be like, this is why I like Pokemon. Because at the end of the day, do we like Pokemon? I think as a community, it's like an acceptance that we like Pokemon not because it is inherently the best frame rate, the most beautiful game, the most all that. Games that win game awards, games that are these big things like the God of Wars, the Elden Rings. We don't like Pokemon because it's like that. We like Pokemon because of how it made us feel and the journeys we had along the way. That was cheesy as hell. But anyway, everyone has a connection to a Pokemon game that made them feel something. Everyone has a Pokemon game that made them that they grew up with and they have some sort of nostalgia with. That's literally why there are adults that are Pokemon fans, because we always get a kick. That nostalgia when you play a new Pokemon game is crazy. Even if you replay an old game, with the beginning of a new Pokemon game is such the dopamine you get from that is so it's why we keep playing. It's why you see people play the same game again and again and again. Like for example, me, I'm not gonna play I love Xenoblade, but I'm not gonna play it again and again and again because Xenoblade is like a one and done type game. A lot of games are one. Look at Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a one and done type game. A lot of single player games, you play them once and they're dead. People aren't making Elden Ring videos at all anymore. That game is pretty much dead. You know what game isn't dead? Pokemon. People play through Pokemon games again and again and again. And that's crazy. I think Pokemon is one of the only franchises that can say that every single one of its games is still relevant in some way. Like, some more than others, of course. Like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is going to be a lot more relevant than, like, Pokemon Diamond, okay? But it's still relevant. So this was my rant. I enjoyed Pokemon in 2023. I just had to let y'all know. Like, I ranted a little bit at the beginning, as you saw, because I'm upset. I think this Pokemon Home stuff is garbage. I want to play with my, like, we should, this whole, we have Pokemon Home on May 24th, but not really anymore. That's ridiculous. And that pissed me off too. I'm mad. I think that's stupid. But I still like Pokemon, and I'm still going to enjoy Pokemon. And, you know, I hope this video helped you try to zoom out and find a new way to enjoy Pokemon now. Because at the end of the day, I think the best thing to do is to enjoy Pokemon for what it is and not what it isn't. And if you're looking for other things, my boy there, or girl, person, my viewer, my friend, mi amigo, there's 50 million different games out there that I guarantee you will be what you're looking for. Play Pokemon for what you like it. Play Pokemon for what it is. Play Pokemon for what you like it as. But the second you start looking for something different, get another game and play that. If you need to take a step back from Pokemon, take it. But at the end of the day, to enjoy Pokemon, take it for what it is, not what it isn't. Subscribe, join the T-Flame Nation. We're on a road to 1K by the end of the year. Make sure you subscribe. We always stay hydrated around here as well, so make sure you get your water. I know I need some water because I just talked a whole lot. Hold up. This. The little lid thing I got right here, the little hole, it was not giving me the quantity of water I wanted, okay? I'm a fire type that drinks water, bro. Anyway, I'm a fire dragon type that drinks water. Okay, anyway. Subscribe. Links down below. We're gonna do videos. I'm your favorite bald bearded YouTuber, bro. I didn't think of an outro. That was supposed to sound cool and accepted. Ooh, look at Pikachu right there, and got Tachi. That's the end of the video. Subscribe. I mean, we could do some ASMR type or whatever the hell. No, I'm kidding. Peace out. Love y'all. God bless.